The ground vibrated from the orbital guns firing in the distance as the destroyed earth and mud began to settle. Jackson stood resolute as he saw the glaring red light pierce through the smoke, and a stark figure of battle-worn and blood-stained steel chassis wearily arose from the spiraling clouds before him. The Automaton was of the trooper variant, however, wore honorifics uncommon to the basic model. Its white skull-shaped head looked down at its rifle and tossed it to the ground, returning its emotionless gaze back at the Helldiver before it, entering a defensive posture, igniting its heated vibroblade arm attachment. Even with no emotion, Jackson could see the hate burning behind those optics that chilled him to his very soul. The two stared at one another in a deafening silence, until Jackson drew his saber and assumed a weary defense guard. He could feel the adrenaline start to flow through his veins as time almost slowed. The orbital guns quiet. To Jackson, it was just him and this lone automaton Commissar. He caught his breath, and with an empowered voice said, "I am Ace Jackson, Death Captain of the Helldiver Corps, from the planet of Martal. Your evil against the citizens of Super-Earth ends here, you mechanized abomination." The automaton laughed. "I have no such impressive titles, Helldiver. My name doesn't matter. I am but a cog in a machine to keep her alive. And I will make sure your managed democracy crumbles before it can enslave another world." Jackson adjusted his posture, anticipating every angle the soldier could take as the automaton slowly approached, its optics flickering with bright red lights as it also ran predictions. The smoke became thick, acting as an enclosure as the two warriors circled one another. Jackson said a prayer to democracy under his breath before leaping at the automaton, thrusting with his decorated saber. The automaton mechanically swayed aside and swept his glowing blade round, slashing the blade towards Jackson. He dodged and spun away, slashing high with his sword for a killing blow. The bot deflected the sweep and stepped back, his bladed arm back at his side, as his eyes flicked once again, calculating. Jackson recovered his balance and advanced towards his enemy. He lunged again, and the automaton perfectly blocked the thrust, spinning at the hip and slashing at Jackson's head. But he had read the move in stiff robotic body language, and the Helldiver dodged the blow. Wary now, the pair again circled each other, their defenses alert for any sudden moves. The automaton attacked, a dancing red streak of steel, forcing Jackson backward step by step. Jackson parried a ferocious thrust aimed at his chest, launching a speedy riposte at his foe in kind. The blade cleaved into the armor chassis, leaving a jagged score in the automaton's armor, but he leapt back before any important circuitry could be harmed. The Commissar retreated, and Jackson followed with anticipation, seizing the momentum. He launched himself at his enemy with renewed vigor. The Commissar was a powerful weapon of war, but Jackson was a Helldiver and had been a student of swordplay his entire life. And each attack carved a new scar into the bot's armor. Sparks shot out as this time damage could not be avoided. He hammered his enemy's defenses again and again, forcing him slowly backward until the Commissar stumbled and lost his footing. Jackson charged left and struck at the Commissar's limb armed with the blade. The automaton was quick, bringing his block up just in time to avoid the blow. Their weapons locked together as sparks flared off the connection. Jackson thundered a defiant yell as the Commissar's blade snapped and his own blow connected with brutal impact. The automaton optics began to rapidly flicker all shades of red as his arm was severed just above the elbow. It retreated, its robotic movements clumsy as oil and sparks sprayed from the stump of his arm. Seizing the opportunity, Jackson charged in to deliver the death blow, but at the last second, realized that the Commissar had lured him into the attack. The Commissar roared and stepped to meet Jackson, slamming inside his guard and cleaving the snapped length of his saber through his black breastplate and into his heart. White-hot pain flooded Jackson as the Commissar twisted the blade, deep red blood pouring down his chest and darkness veiling his sight. Had he seen a new detachment of super destroyers in orbit? He felt his life slipping from him and looked into the optics of his killer. "Damn you," he whispered, dropping a stratagem ball from a limp hand. A tall pillar of red light shined to the sky, and the Commissar looked up. "You won't keep her down, human," hissed the Commissar as it was engulfed in an explosion.